Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. Today I want to go over an order type, something I normally don't do. I kind of shy away from anything that has to do with executions and that kind of stuff for compliance reasons. But as we get more members into the community, stuff that I've been doing for years that I take for granted, questions pop up. And when I'm calling out new types of orders during the day, some of the newer members are not sure what a particular type of order is, which we're actually going to discuss now, and it's called a buy stop order. Now, what most members and most people as well simply use market orders. They market in and market out, which serious active traders should not be doing that unless you happen to not be at your screen during the day, where you could even place a buy stop limit order. What we want to talk about right now is a buy stop order in its simplest terms. And you could use this if you're day trading or if you're swing trading. I'm going to show you a day trading example right now, but you could use it for either one. It's a very important order to know. And it's actually interesting because there's certain ideas that get called out every day in our 8:45 game plan meeting that we have every day to set up our trades for the day and for the week. Calling out ideas at a certain level. I'll say, I like it up at that level because of X, Y, and Z, based on the order flow, based on reading the tape. And some newer members, again, will say, I don't understand. Why don't you buy it now? And I'm like, well, I want to stay out of all of that nonsense. And I want order flow to prove to me it's going to be able to punch through that level with a serious commitment by smart money. And obviously that's a part of what we do. So you know already the buy stop, you just know it in a different way. So first I'm going to explain the buy stop, and then I'm going to explain how you know it, so it really brings the point home. So a buy stop is, let's just say for argument's sake, your price is here at $50. And for whatever reason, like I just said, we do it using order flow. We read the tape, and then we determine the optimal entry for where we think price is going to explode the fastest. So let's just say for argument's sake, your price is at 50, and you decide that the optimal entry, and I'm going to actually use this as an example, price is at 50, and you say at 51, for whatever reason, that's the optimal price. So when it gets up to $51, I want to trigger a buy order at that point. Now, it could be a buy market order, or it could be a buy stop limit order. So it's a buy stop market or a buy stop limit. Very simple. Don't let the terminology confuse you. It simply gets, when it's here, and if it gets up to here, trigger that order up there. So you don't even have to be at your computer. You could just place the order, and when it gets up to that level, it gets you into the trade. Now, what's kind of interesting is that you already know how to use this order, whether you realize it or not, because a buy stop order is exactly the same thing as a stop loss order, except in the other direction. So let's say you bought a stock at 50. Again, we just use 50 for example, and you say, I want to get out if it goes down to 49. Again, just keeping the numbers simple, right? So you bought it at 50, and you say, if it goes down to 49, that's where my stop loss order is. So a stop loss, the actual terminology is, it's a sell stop order. So if it gets down to that level, you place a sell stop. Now, again, you could use a sell stop as a limit order or a sell stop as a market order, but either way, it's a sell stop, which you can also do to sell short a stock as well, but let's not get into that right now. So you're already using the order if you understand and use stop losses, which I hope you do. It's been protecting. It's kind of like your insurance policy in this market right now. So again, I want to walk you through a trade, reading the tape, using order flow. If it's at 50 and it gets up to 51, you place a buy stop order. I'm going to tell you one of the biggest reasons that it's valuable is you don't want to miss great ideas. If you dig in like we do at 7 o'clock at night and do your homework, you do your research, you get in there and you're on a treasure hunt for great ideas, and you're like, okay, not yet, but if it gets up to that price, that's where I like it a lot. And also a pro tip is this. If you're not comfortable with placing a buy stop order, first off, you could place an alert up there, and immediately you'll get it. So that is kind of a conservative way to do it. Then you can make a determination. But if you did all the research, if you did your game planning, you did your scans, you did your tape reading, and you're like, that's the level I love. At a minimum, you could do 100 shares. You don't have to get in there with all 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 shares. Just put an order out there for 100 shares, so it lights up in your position. Some of you get a text message or an email, or if you're at your screen, it lights up if you happen to be trading full time. And then you can make a decision if you want to add more shares. But at least now you know you're in the position. You can watch it. Now you can do what we teach in tape reading while you're in the position. So I want to point out a trade yesterday just to really bring home how important this is. So again, the terminology is a buy stop order, and it's if it's trading here, it goes up here, you want to get in. So I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to take you behind the scenes in our community right here. So this is a sneak peek of actually what happens during the day and how we call out the trades. Any given day, I probably call out anywhere from 20 to 30 trades. A lot of them are swing trades. In the pre-market game plan meeting throughout the day, we discuss swing trades. So I want to walk you through how you can get it, call a trade out before it gets there, set the order, and then show you the potential from a trade that we took yesterday in real time. So this is our private Slack community. You can see we have different channels devoted to different things. What I want to point out is here. This was at yesterday morning at 9:51:38 in the morning. So you can see BILI 51 buy stop, and then a little bit later the buy stop was hit just around 10 o'clock, so roughly a couple of minutes after I placed the buy stop order, and then I actually put in my stop loss. So to really drill this point home, to give you an idea of the power, this is actually what the stock did yesterday. It was the easiest trade in the world, especially if you were prepared. So you can see 51 was here, and the stock actually rallied $8 intraday. One trade made the entire week for some people just by being prepared. So I can't stress this enough. If you understand how to read the order flow, if you understand how to read the tape, if you understand how to determine levels where you expect the smart money to step up and punch something through a particular price, you can set these kind of orders, a buy stop order, and not even be at your desk and see the stock explode when it follows through. So there's two different ways to do it. Like I said, if you want to be conservative, set an alert, and then you can choose to get in. You want to, what we call in the community, hashtag trade like a pro, put a 100 share order in there, get filled, get comfortable with it so it becomes second nature. And you'll be amazed at how many easier trades you get because you did the game planning, because you read the order flow, because you read the tape, and you get those kind of trades. So you see the timestamps there. It was a trade that we called out, a trade that a lot of the community took. And look, I use easy in context, but they're easier when you're prepared. That's the big thing. You make money consistently when you're prepared, not because you're lucky. And a lot of people are finding it out now because August was very easy because the market kept going up every day. Now September, October, and even into November, you really need to know what you're doing. And if you're losing money, there's something you're missing. And little stuff like this every day adds up to a lot over the month and the year, quite honestly. And again, one $8 trade that's now following through this morning, it's a pretty exciting thing when you plan for it and it unfolds like that. So that's a real-time example from our community yesterday. Hopefully you can start using this order immediately. You might need to get into your software to determine how to actually set a buy stop order. And then once you do, I think you're going to really fall in love with it. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. If you want to do this with me every day, you just took a sneak peek. I'd love to see you in the community. Click down and learn about the bootcamp. And if you can, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel if you find these videos helpful. Have a great day, everyone.